Buccaneers lose to the New England Patriots in a game that was competitive at times. Tampa Bay had the ball, in the final 2 minutes inside the 35, needing a touchdown to take the lead, weren't able to convert, partially thanks to a late interception by JKS Smith. Let's start off here with what we do every time the Buccaneers lose, and let's give credit to the away team real quick. To the victor, a team that was victorious here. Can't speak, but I mean, Drake May, the completion percentage was down in this game. The yards per attempt were very up in this game. I thought that Drake May, quite frankly, in this Patriots team, they might not have been successful snap after snap, but their big playability was impressive. And some of those plays, that first Drake May touchdown, coming off of his hand, I'm like, oh, wow, he got hit hard. I wonder, could this be a underthrown pass, maybe an interception, and then it's a touchdown the other way because it didn't even affect him. The hits May could take and still deliver nice throws was really impressive. I think one time Vea got him and that affected the throw a little bit, but other than that, it feels like every time he got hit, he's still, he's my pick for MVP so far this season. He really is, and the Patriots are probably my pick for the AFC champions if I have to pick today. That's the quality of team Tampa Bay was up against, and the amount of little things they do, with the exception of Travion Henderson not sliding at the end there, which even that was, who cares? The game was over. He should have slid, but it's not. You get it. You get why a rookie would do that. And even then, they were saying, guys were telling him, hey, don't do that. Everything else, the Patriots just do the little things so well. They play good special teams. It was an impressive. They're an impressive team. They're 8-2. The Patriots took a couple years off, and now they're back to being the Patriots again. So losing to them, there is no shame. That being said, it is frustrating to continue to lose to teams that are good teams, right? The Buccaneers have not lost the game they shouldn't have lost all season, but it is frustrating that we continue to see them when they have the real test. Oh, hey, here is a real team. Can you find a way to, just show what you can do against Detroit, against Philadelphia, and against New England? And in all three of those games, in the first half, they came out flat. Now, they stayed flat in the Lions game. That was just a disaster from start to finish. And I guess I shouldn't say they came out flat in this game because it actually started off great for Tampa Bay. Early on, a nice drive. Egbuka was getting involved. After that drive, the Patriots just said Gonzalez was on Egbuka basically every snap, and that was a huge adjustment for them to, really change the way the Buccaneers played offense. But the Buccaneers are playing good defense as well. Things were looking good for Tampa Bay throughout this one early on, but after that opening drive, offense really went cold. It was really hard to get things to go well for Tampa Bay. So there was that issue, and then I just thought that I don't know. I feel like this. The offense, well, let's talk about defense first, because I think that for the Patriots, quite frankly, defensively, Tampa Bay won a higher percentage of the reps than you would typically see in a game, right? Like, I think that when you're talking about, batting averages, the Buccaneers defense had a very high batting average in this game. Like, the consistent stopping the runs short, not a lot going for Drake May, that was very good. And they had, that JKS Smith interception was a great play. JKS Smith wasn't supposed to cover the guy who May threw to. He just saw the way the play was going, went over, covered a different guy, and got the pick. That was an amazing play by him. But, the big plays were really frustrating. The Travion Henderson, I get it. The guy's explosive. But, those two long runs were huge. The one at the end, okay, didn't need to get into the end zone, whatever. But, after the first down, it's basically over. But also letting him get the first down with that explosiveness, and then the other one, it's like, where is the safety help? There were a couple of plays where I'm like, why is there not a safety over the middle of the field? And the safety's all the way off to one side of the field. I get that Bowles probably had a reason for it, but there were two plays: the Kyle Williams touchdown early on, and the Travion Henderson touchdown. The first of his touchdowns. Good plays to get those guys open, but again, you're having a high batting average. If you can have a safety over and make the tackle, that could have potentially been the difference in this game. There were great plays by the Patriots. The Patriots make great plays. You gotta find ways to slow that down. So ultimately, that was frustrating. And then for the Buccaneers offense, it's just like, hey, K. Dotton showed up in this one when he doesn't have to block on half his snaps. Turns out he's a pretty good tight end, especially a pretty good receiving tight end. Egbuka was Egbuka. Him and Christian Gonzalez. The good news is we don't have to play Christian Gonzalez again. That's going to be nice because that guy is a star. But, Egbuka was Egbuka. He's the number one option. He's good. They still don't have enough other receivers right now. And Godwin, it seems like that injury is worse than we thought. It's going to be a while for him. It's going to be a while for Evans. I get that for basically both of those two teams. They're essentially just saying or for both of those two guys, they're essentially just saying, well, let's see how things go playoff time. That's the mindset, which I don't fully disagree with. I don't think that's the bad strategy, but also, again, you got to put yourself in better positions than the Buccaneers have put themselves in these past few weeks. You have to be able to win these games. And as of right now, maybe these receivers will look better when you're not playing New England. New England covers so well. It's a great team that we're playing against. But Tej Johnson made some plays. Again, Sterling Shepard, that was a dumb penalty on the on the pick play. He just ran out horribly. That was really frustrating because that play would have worked if he just turns around as you're making contact. Turns around, make it look like you're trying to make a catch. You're good. They're not going to call a penalty. That's a big play for K. Dotton. He just doesn't run it well, and because of it, Buccaneers have to punt. So that's not ideal for the Buccaneers offense. I mean, it was a tough loss, a frustrating loss. Again, I think Baker, for the most part, looked like Baker again. Still a little bit off. I still wonder if he's not fully healthy yet, but he did look like Baker again. He was making plays. That first touchdown to Tej Johnson was like a really good Baker Mayfield type of play. That was very good. Able to make those plays. So, you feel good about that. Ultimately, I don't think I'm too critical of the team's performance as a whole, but more so just those big mistakes defensively to allow those big touchdowns cost you the game. And it's one game, and I think that's kind of where I'll end up sitting here with Tampa Bay is this is just one game. This was just 60 minutes of football. We have seen this team play good football for a longer stretch. They still have, last season, their issue was they didn't do a great job at beating up the mediocre teams, losing to Atlanta twice, right? The teams that you want to be able to win consistently, they didn't do a great job at winning those consistently. But they did beat really good teams. They beat the Lions, they beat the Eagles last year. This year's been the opposite. Tampa Bay, again, every team that they have lost to is a team you're looking at and saying that team could be in the Super Bowl this year. Philadelphia, Detroit, and New England. But the issue is, you want to be the team in the Super Bowl this year, you're going to have to win one of these tough games. And the good news or the bad news is the Buccaneers will have opportunities to prove they can beat a really good team in the next 2 weeks. You beat either the Bills or the Rams in the next 2 weeks. It's all good. I don't need to win both. In that 3-game stretch, I said I was hoping you could win 2, but really you got to win 1. But if you were going to win 2, probably one of them would have been. It's harder now that you've lost 1. Not saying if you're going to win 2, it would have been 1 against New England, but just you've already lost the 1. So just find a way to either beat Buffalo, who, they're coming off of a loss where they kind of got embarrassed against Miami. They're going to be locked in this week. So that's not going to be an easy win, although a team that has not maybe played up to what you typically expect from Buffalo. And then the Rams on Sunday Night Football. Both of those games are on the road. That's a tough stretch. It just is. Going up to Buffalo where it'll feel cold, right? It's still, here in Florida. Look, I'm wearing a hoodie because it's gotten in the low 70s. I mean, this is not what we're used to going to play in Buffalo. I'm not sure what the weather will be there. And then the Rams, which you have to travel to the West Coast. So travel's going to be a factor. Here's the thing, and this is the best news moving forward. The Buccaneers are going to make the playoffs. They're going to win the divisions. Barring a disaster, the Buccaneers are going to make the playoffs and be in the division. They're currently 7-3. The Panthers lost to the Saints today, so now they're 5-5, and the Falcons lost, so they're 3-6. Somehow the Saints were the only team to come away with a win in this week. So the Saints win the NFC South for Week 10 at the very least, so they get to brag about that. Although that probably just hurts their draft picks, so they're probably not even happy about it if you're a Saints fan. But You feel good about that. And for the Buccaneers, as long as you don't get swept by the Panthers, they should be able to win the division with ease. That at least gets you a 4 seed, gets you a home playoff game. But again, expectations are higher this year. And maybe they shouldn't be, but they are. The expectations are higher this year, so you got to find a way to make something happen. Hey, the score was kind of 28-3. It was 28-23, so that's fun for the Tom Brady Bowl. I thought about wearing my Brady jersey. I decided against it because I just didn't feel like putting it on. But but yeah, at least there's that. Lost to a good team. It happens. Frustrating loss though. Feels like real opportunity, similar to Philadelphia, where it's like losing to a good team is what it is, but just feels like the Buccaneers didn't play their best football, and you can't just wait for the star receivers to come back. And maybe some blame has to go on Grizzard here as well, because it's like, and really I think you could put blame on both sides a little bit, both coaching staffs a little bit, but I think like can that pick play worked. They just didn't execute it well. Why not go back to that pick play on the 4th down at the end of the game instead? And I didn't love what Baker did on that 4th down. I just didn't. Where he just held on to the ball. I wanted to see him give someone a chance, even if it's just a jump ball to K. Dotton. He's been making tough catches in this game. Give him a shot. That's what I would have liked to see. Didn't happen. It is what it is. Played a game down to the wire against a good football team, but it's the NFL. Games tend to be close. Got to find ways to win them. So, yeah, that's ultimately my thoughts on a disappointing game here. But, again, long season, and just beat Buffalo or the Rams. Win one of those games, I'm happy. Then you can say you beat Seattle and you beat another one of those two teams, and then you can't say you can't beat bad teams. But thank God they beat Seattle. If they didn't beat Seattle, I'd be pulling my hair out. At least they've beaten a good team. But still, feels like, again, it's not that they just lose to good teams. It feels like they play worse against good teams, which is that's how good teams do. The Patriots are a great team. No shame in losing them, but would have been nice to beat them. So those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.